Welcome once again to the Visual Vapor Reviews. I'm your host, Michael Cobb, and this is the Topic Tuesdays. Today we're going to be talking about a few different things. Maybe we'll start off with with the topic of the day and then move on, but I'm not sure just yet. But anyway, the topic of today is nic salts. Now, nic salts essentially are they allow you to use a higher concentration of nicotine without having the original. So a friend of mine brought a little bit over, and this is similar to the Naked 100 Green Blast. It's in the bottle, but it has the same exact flavor. It allows you to use a higher concentration of nicotine without that harsh throat hit. Now, typically I don't use nicotine, but I'm going to actually try this out in an RDA, so I'm not really keeping it. I'm just going to use it for this one. So why don't we get into the topic in a few seconds. Right now I'm vaping on my strawberry raspberry mango, which is a mixture of the Zaba strawberry, the mango from Millionaire 100, and the raspberry from Millionaire. See you in a bit, baby. So anyway, today we'll be talking about nic salts. Nic salts essentially allows you to use a higher concentration of nicotine without the harshness of a throat hit. So normally when you use high concentrations of nicotine, if you use, say, 18 milligrams to quit smoking, basically the flavor will be, if you use 18 milligrams, will be rather harsh on your throat, and that's the nicotine reacting with the lymph nodes in your throat. Now, or the salivary glands in the back of your mouth. So, as per usual, I don't really use nicotine. This isn't really my thing. It's just for the review because it's a new product. So this is actually the entire flavor is going to my friend who actually does smoke, Billy Corey James, and he is going to use those to help him quit smoking. So I don't really use them that much. I'm not going to be keeping this flavor. This is just for the review to see if the reaction is the same. So he brought over a bottle of the nic salt flavor, which is kiwi, apple, melon, and then we have his other flavor, which is the Naked 100 Polar Breeze at 3 milligrams. Now, from the first time when I first tried vapor with nicotine, it was really harsh. I didn't like it. I didn't like the feeling it produced. So this is solely for reviewing purposes only. This will not be my flavor whatsoever. I will not have any flavors with nicotine for myself. This is to help him, and this is for a review purpose only. So please note that nicotine is not in any of my normal reviews. However, in this case, because it's a new product and they wanted me to do a review on it, I'm going to. So anyway, let's get into the topic of nicotine salts. Nicotine salts are a new kind of naturally derived nicotine source from the tobacco plant. Tobacco plants naturally produce the substance nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical substance that produces a relaxed feeling, or a feeling of what some would compare to a high, or a really relaxed feeling. However, it does have several deficits, such as being highly addictive. You can become highly addicted to it. You could be reliant on it for the rest of your life. That's usually what leads to smoking, why smoking is so hard to stop. But in smoking, nicotine is genetically modified to become more addictive for you. That's why when you pick up the habit, it's so much harder to stop. So in this case, the nicotine salts are supposed to make it easier so you don't have to use it as much. So say you have an 18 milligram or 3 milligram nicotine level, and you're used to using maybe a pack a day. You'd probably puff on a 3 to 18 milligram at least 5 to 10 times before you get your nic fix. Now, I don't really have any experience with nicotine, really. It's not really my thing, so I just know from what I've read. I've taken extensive research into the subject of nicotine, and I've learned a lot about it. So anyway, nicotine salts basically allow you to increase your nicotine levels without the harshness of normal nicotine. So, for example, if you use a 18 milligram on 18 milligram nicotine level on, or 3 milligram in this case, level on a normal vape, then you could use a 18 to 36 milligram level on nic salts, and you'd basically only have to take 1 or 2 puffs before you're satisfied. Now, because I don't want this in my tank for a prolonged period of time, I don't want it saturating into my coils, I'm going to be using an RDA mod, or an RDA tank, to just get the taste of it and the feeling. So no, they will not be present in my usual vapor mods like my iJoy Diamond with Captain Tank, or my iQune i200 mod with the matching Smock Baby Beast tank. This product will only be used in the Victory RDA just to test the flavor out and the feeling. So I'm going to sit my rear end down so we can chat this out. So now, I'm definitely a little hesitant to try this out because nicotine is definitely not my forte. I don't really run nic in mine. It's not my thing at all. But because of the sole purpose of review, and SS Vape just got this product, I'm going to be testing it out and trying it out. I didn't purchase this actually. I got it from my friend Billy. He gave me this for the day to try it out, just to do the review on it, and then I'll be giving it back to him. So what I need to do is I need to take my iQune i200 off of this. The Baby Beast off the iQune, take my RDA Victory tank, and get it ready to vape, because something tells me we're in for a trip. So I'm going to turn this down to 65 as the typical, because that's what I use on this mod for this tank. It's reading the resistance at 0.26. Now, because I haven't put the flavor in there yet, I haven't even tested it. I've got to vape it down so that vape this flavor down so that I can be ready to drip it. Alrighty, so now the coils are ready to drip. I'm gonna test out the nic salt flavor, which is the kiwi apple flavor. So apple melon, actually, kiwi apple melon. I'm a little hesitant. I've never really tried these before. So this is an 18 milligram flavor. Definitely really hesitant about this, so I'm going to give it a try. So now the coils are all wicked up, and she's ready to go. So let's slam this tank on, and give it a quick juice drop, so that it's able to vape. Give it a second to wick up, clean off the excess liquid that's leaking out of the tank. Alrighty. Let's give this a try, because I'm definitely a little hesitant, but for the video, for the reviews, right? So apparently this will be a lot smoother than higher nicotine levels. I've never tried higher nicotine levels. The first time I ever tried a vape liquid with nicotine was when I was first starting out, and I didn't even know it had nicotine. I said, just give me the best one you got, and he gave me a 36 milligram one that I didn't even know, and it was Coca-Cola, and it tasted like a cinnamon challenge on overdrive. So I'm definitely a little hesitant on this. So let's get it going. Alrighty. First hit on the 18 milligram nic salt Naked 100 flavor. Well, it's similar to Naked 100's flavor, but okay. So here we go. Not bad. I mean, you don't taste anything different. I mean, it tastes really smooth. I like the flavor. Green Blast is basically a melon, kiwi, apple flavor, but okay. Okay. Not bad. I mean, overall, I'm tasting the kiwi, but Okay, now I'm kind of feeling it get to work. The nicotine is definitely there. It's very, very sweet. I mean, it's definitely different. I can definitely taste the difference, and I'm definitely feeling a little more, like, relaxed. I mean, it's very hard. I'm not one for nicotine in my vapes. It's not my thing at all. It's definitely... How can I say this? Very sweet, very smooth. I can definitely say it's smooth. It's very light and airy. I'm not feeling so much of a blast from it. Let's see. So let's try a full mouth to lung inhale, and then we'll do a full lung. Yeah, I can definitely feel it working. I don't really like it all that much. This is typically why I don't really use nicotine flavors, because they don't... I'm definitely getting... Oh, yep, there it is. That's the typical feeling of a nicotine. Yep, I've got a lightheadedness. I'm definitely relaxed, and things are feeling a little more slowed down now. I'm not really feeling anything much. Alright, so let's compare that to the 3 milligram normal nicotine flavor, which is a kind of like a mint flavor but more tropical-ish. So let's give it a try. Okay, so we got that wicked up and ready to go. Let's burn off a little bit of excess, because we got a lot of excess juice here. It's definitely leaking a bit, because I think I might have oversaturated my coils or my wicks a bit. So we're going to try and clean that up a little bit. There we go. In fact, I'll be right back just a second. So I definitely overwicked these a little bit. I'm going to use a Q-tip to try and siphon off the excess liquid so that we can actually do this properly without having to worry about so much liquid coming through. You can kind of see that I have definitely oversaturated my wicks, and it is not fun when you do that, because the liquid on these will tend to leak out if you use too much. I'm gonna set this right in between the cotton here so that I can kind of like pick up some of the excess liquid. There we go. Okay, now we're all set. So this is a 3 milligram nicotine level, and we're gonna try and compare it to the difference in nic salts. So nic salts, as I was saying, basically allow you to use a higher milligram level of nicotine without the harshness. So this is a 3 milligram level, and we're going to try and compare it. Yeah, no. Definitely a lot harsher, definitely a lot stronger. You definitely feel it working a whole lot faster. Not a good flavor at all. When it comes to nicotine, I think it's horrible. I definitely think that nicotine is not good in this at all. It's very harsh. It burns almost going down your throat. You feel it right here. You definitely feel it in your head. You feel lightheaded and dizzy and everything. It's just horrible. So this is the review for the nic salts. The nic salts by far are definitely better than the actual nicotine flavors. I'll admit that. but I'm gonna stay away from nicotine altogether. This is definitely not for me. But for people who are trying to quit smoking, this is definitely the way to go with nic salts. It's much better than actual nicotine if you want something nice and smooth just to get your nic fix to help you quit, and then you can work your way down to 0. Yeah, definitely not. Definitely not for me. I'm going to take this tank off and let the nic flavor just kind of air out of that, because if you saturate your coils, eventually they dry out so that you don't have to worry about it. So that about wraps that up. Next topic Tuesday will probably be something along the lines of coil saturation and how the coils work, because I've run through the basics of how mods work in general. There's the flavor I know and love, my strawberry raspberry mango. Much better. No nicotine, no harshness of hit. And then we've got my Django from 13th Floor right here. Much better flavor. No nicotine's the way to go. This tastes so much better than anything else. And then later on, the next video will be a review on the 2700 batteries from iJoy. So I'm looking forward to that. I got two batteries, so we'll be doing a review on those. And then we'll be doing that later on. So anyway, thanks so much for checking out the Visual Vapor Reviews. This is definitely not one of my best reviews ever. Topic Tuesday, for one thing. These are the 2 flavors with the difference of nic salts and nicotine, right, straight up. Not impressed, except in the fact that the nicotine salts are definitely smoother. That's the only thing that really impressed me. Other than that, I think I'm gonna stay away from nicotine altogether, because definitely not fun. But anyway, thanks for checking out the Visual Vapor Reviews. I'm your host, Michael Cobb. If you want to see more videos, comment down below in the crotch box. And we'll see you guys next time on the Visual Vapor Reviews. Peace, guys.